Studio. We welcome to the program now Frank Bordeaux, chairman of the Mississippi Republican Party. Hey, Frank, how's it going?
Good, my friend. How are you?
Doing great. So start out by giving us kind of a report from last week's Republican presidential debate from Milwaukee, which also happens to be the site of the RNC convention right next year, where we will select who will be our candidate for president. That's coming up in that same town of Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee's. Everybody's excited to be there. We've already moved in the RNC staff. It was a long week last week. That was also not only did we have the presidential debate, but we also had um, our RNC meeting and a lot of work on
Okay.
the convention. So, but the debate was exciting. I think that Fox News did a great job as far as the layout of the venue. I think some of the questions were questionable. Some of the candidates, I think, agreed with that.
Yeah.
Um, quite frankly, I think the winner of the debate was probably Donald Trump. I'm not sure that anybody did anything that really moved the needle.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what the reports are saying. He had a fundraising boost on the heels of the debate as well. Some $7 million plus brought into his campaign coffers since the debate.
Yeah, and you've seen other candidates that's done very well fundraising wise. Nothing like what Donald Trump has done, but Nikki Haley had a really big bump. I think Vivek. A lot of folks are talking about Vivek, whether you
Yeah.
agree with his foreign policy or not. And then Ron DeSantis. Vivek actually, I think, gave Ron DeSantis a pass. He took a lot of the hits. A lot of folks, the pundits thought that that was going to be DeSantis taking the hits, but I think Vivek. Kind of asked for him a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you a little surprised? I would say perhaps the most heated moment, most contentious moment of the debate was the exchange between Nikki Haley and Vivek Ramaswamy, and they were positioned right next to each other as well. That got, I guess, just a little on up there, and it was over Ramaswamy's ideas about foreign policy, as you indicated specifically. How to end the war in Ukraine.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Nikki Haley, she feels very strongly on her position. I think a lot of people on the stage agreed with her position, but Vivek's coming from a different perspective. I
Yeah,
think that the younger generation doesn't remember the Cold War, and so I
yeah,
think that. But there's going to be pivots on some of these issues. I think that. We'll find more out about these folks. We have two more debates coming up before the end of the year. One is going to be down here in the South, and so we're excited about that. The next one's scheduled for I think September 25th in California, and
right.
then there will be one in the latter part of October, probably in Alabama.
Are you hearing about any candidates after the debate discussing dropping out of the race at this point, Frank?
No, but as the debate schedule goes on, the threshold to get on the stage will increase and continue to increase. And so you're going to see folks, if they can't get their poll numbers up and they can't get the 50,000 unique donors, then they're not going to be invited on the stage. I hold the hope, and I think a lot of our RNC members have the same hope that that threshold continues to go up. Let's be honest, if we have a huge field come South Carolina, Trump's going to be the nominee.
Yeah.
And not that I'm opposed to that, but I do believe the field has to start narrowing to give anybody a chance to compete with Trump.
Yeah, and I think that's fairly typical. The way these things progress through the cycle, I mean, that's the way it works out. You start to see attrition, and then ultimately it becomes pretty clear who's going to emerge as the nominee. But if you had to put a bet on it today, you'd say it's going to be Donald Trump.
No question about it. I mean, a lot of things can happen. The election cycle is a long election cycle. And I was one that was opposed to setting these rules and these thresholds when we started this a year ago with the debates.
Hmm.
I'm very proud that the RNC has put those in place and they've lived by their rules. I mean, they're not bending on it. And so I'm very proud to see that the RNC has done that. I was wrong on that issue. And I think that it makes for a better process.
Yeah. I, too, thought a couple of the questions maybe were inappropriate or let's just say not necessary, didn't really move the needle as far as informing voters on candidates. One of them was about Mike Pence. I don't know how you felt about that. Hey, do you think Mike Pence acted appropriately on January 6th? I'm not sure if I thought that was appropriate with him standing there on the stage. What did you think?
I don't think that was appropriate. I think the American voters, the
Yeah.
Republican voters, want to hear what these folks are going to do to move our country forward. And some of those questions obviously did not help in that process. Uh, I think the debates will get better as they go on.
Yeah.
Um, and I think a lot of the questions, were good, but some of them just, I think, brought up things that the American voters and the Republican voters really don't care about.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Now, we've got primary runoff elections tomorrow. What are you tracking there in Mississippi? What are
We
you
got
tracking there?
we got a little over 95 races in the state, 39 counties. So if you live in one of those 39 counties, please get out and vote. Three legislative races that obviously we're keeping an eye on. And so we just want folks to get out and vote in the Republican runoffs. And let's move to November 7th. We're excited about November 7th.
Yeah. Of course, the marquee race there, features the governor, the top of the ticket, the governor's race. Brandon Presley made an announcement earlier today that he will make a major announcement concerning his campaign at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Are you familiar with that? You heard about that? I got noticed
I
on
have
that.
not heard about that.
Yeah, and I don't know what that.
No,
You
I
didn't
haven't.
give any indication of what the subject matter of that announcement may be, but he's seems to be focused on really trashing Governor Tate Reeves. What are you hearing out there?
He's not talking about policies. He can't attack the Republican Party and Governor Reeves for the record that we have, and he really can't tell us anything that he would do different other than uh, expand the Medicaid. You know,
Yeah,
we as Republicans have never seen a tax cut we don't like, but we have been cutting taxes, and we're going to do it responsibly. We're going to continue to do that. But the idea that you're going to expand government and cut taxes at the same time, that math doesn't work. And
yeah,
I don't care if you're a
exactly.
Mississippi Republican or a Mississippi Democrat, people understand that. And so pandering to the lowest common denominator isn't going to work in Mississippi. Um, and I think Governor Reeves has a proven track record of cutting taxes, no question about it. But we're going to keep on our message. We're going to keep talking about the great policy successes we've had over the past 3 years. And Mississippi is moving forward. Governor Reeves says it's Mississippi's. We have momentum. We do have momentum. Every day we see it in national newspapers. When I was traveling out to Milwaukee, it's amazing the response. We were in the Southern Regional meeting, and my counterpart in Arkansas said, "Look, Mississippi's not the butt of the joke anymore," and that made me proud that
Yeah.
other states are recognizing the success that we're having.
Yeah, the accomplishments in education truly are monumental, remarkable, and that, you're right, has garnered national attention. I'm sure you heard about that among your peers in Milwaukee.
No question about it. And look, I was able to talk on a couple of panels. Nobody can doubt the excitement that we have for what's going on in our state, whether it's the economy, job growth, job creation, investments in workforce, education gains. We've had unbelievable success over the past several years. And every time Brandon Presley hits Governor Reeves, he's hitting every Republican legislator. He's hitting the lieutenant governor. He's hitting the speaker. These are all of our accomplishments, and we're very proud of it. And you're getting, it's I get phone calls from House members and senators. What can we do to help? And so he's really mobilizing our Republican base, and we're excited about it. We're getting phone calls daily at the headquarters. What can folks do to help? If you do want to help, if you want to sign wave, if you want to knock doors, if you want to do anything with regards to our race, please email us at info@msgop.org. We'll put you to work.
Yeah, we got about a minute left, but one of the things I've noticed, Frank, is that he really tries to, talking about Brandon Presley, position himself as, I'm one of you. I'm just a common person, one of you sort of deal, and therefore I would be a better governor. I don't really buy that, honestly. About 30 seconds. What do you
No,
think?
and you can ask business owners in Louisiana what they think of a Democrat that says I'm one of you with John Bel Edwards. I mean that we have plenty of examples, and I've spoken to many folks over in Louisiana that said, please don't let this guy get elected. We've gone through it. So,
Absolutely. Frank Bordeaux, Mississippi chairman of the Grand Old Party, the GOP. We appreciate you joining us, Frank. We'll talk again soon. Thanks.
thank you, Gerard.
Got it. We're coming right back, folks, in the Element Wealth Studios.